Waste is a result of inadequate thinking. Waste management is necessary if we are to have a sustainable society. Our modern way of life does not consider the precautionary principle in relation to the management of our waste. The management of waste is an integral part of a sustainable community. It is a system in society that connects the economic, ecological and social sectors, in effect the triple bottom line. In Western Sydney, just 5 kilometres from Sydney's major drinking water supply, is a proposed construction site of what is expected to become the largest waste-to-energy incinerator plant in the world, converting tonnes of waste into electricity. It will be Australia's first waste-to-energy incinerator. There is much controversy in relation to this proposal. In favour of the proposal, we have the owner of the waste facility, Dial-A-Dump, who will also own the waste-to-energy incinerator. In opposition to the proposed facility, we have local residents, local government, Sydney West Health Service and the Greens political party.
As the owner of Dial-A-Dump Waste Management, I can tell you that much of Sydney's building waste ends up at my waste plant. It is separated, pulverised, and the majority is eventually recycled into wood chips or road base. But 25% is residue and goes into landfill. Our proposed waste-to-energy facility is essential to deal with a rapidly growing waste problem. Australia's garbage and solid waste generation is increasing, most of it ending up in landfill. Landfills in Australia are already at or near capacity, meaning waste is now being illegally dumped. The waste-to-energy incinerator is a solution to avoid landfill completely. The residue will instead be burnt and generate power for the grid, supplying electricity to over 200,000 homes across Sydney. The facility will be built to the latest European and Australian engineering and environmental standards. This will include technology that captures any particulate matter and absorbs heavy metals and dioxins, while cleaning any gases before they reach the atmosphere. The outputs will be below the limits set out by the New South Wales Environment Protection Agency and the very strict European directives, and in many cases would not even be detectable. The facility's pollution controls will be monitored by the EPA 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
In an ideal world, there would be no waste. Waste to energy is not new. It is already used in Europe, the US and other parts of the world. As a representative of the New South Wales Department of Planning and Environment, I can only tell you the facts that I am aware of at this particular time. Firstly, the proposed waste facility can thermally treat up to 1.35 million tonnes of waste each year. This would usually go into landfill. Instead, it is proposed that the waste will produce approximately 137 megawatts of electricity. Secondly, there will be a capital investment exceeding $30 million. The proposed facility is classed as a state significant development. If approved, the facility would be built at a cost of $588 million. This means more jobs for New South Wales while the proposed plan is being built and employment of workers after construction, a bonus for Western Sydney. As landfill sites become scarce, alternatives need to be found. We have to meet international obligations for renewable energy targets. Both state and federal governments have introduced schemes to make it viable for waste operators in Australia to consider using incineration to create electricity which is labelled renewable. Lastly, I will say there is still a way to go regarding the proposed plan at Eastern Creek, and there will be no final outcome for the proposal until the Environmental Protection Agency and the government are happy that this is in the best interests of the people of Western Sydney, New South Wales and Australia, now and in the future. After all, waste management is about sustaining our environment into the future. With Australia's population expected to reach 35.9 million by 2050, we need to act now to create sustainability for the future generations.
Within about 2 square kilometres of the proposed plant, there are suburbs of up to 15,000 residents, so obviously they are a bit worried. We are concerned about the levels of emissions of dioxins and other toxins into the air and through the soil. The reservoir is only 5 kilometres away, and the pollutants can reach it through the air. Just because the owner of the incinerator claims it meets standards doesn't mean there won't be any pollution, or cross-pollution, since the reservoir connects to other water sources. The proposed incinerator will reduce recycling rates, spew out pollution and impact on the health of residents. Trucks will be delivering over 1 million tonnes of waste to be burnt each year, and there is no certainty about what chemicals and particles will come out of the exhaust stacks. We have concerns for our health and the health of our children now and into the future. I've heard of something called product stewardship, where companies are responsible for the products they manufacture from the production to the end of their use. It's called cradle to grave. Why doesn't the government make this law? It will reduce the need for waste management by recycling or reusing. Then there will be a reduction in the environmental footprint of waste worldwide.
This is a very current and controversial topic. Who is the most credible, the proposed owner, the government, or the protester? I remain undecided on this issue. I do agree with Mansdorf 2010 that waste to energy is not one of the principles of waste management which reduce, reuse, or recycle. It doesn't lead to zero waste. This should be our aim if we are to have a sustainable future.